Listen, turn the lights down low, grab something to hold on to, and whatever you do, don't look at the clock right now. Because once I tell you these 5 stories, every single time it hits 3:03 a.m., you're gonna feel it in your bones. Something watching, something waiting. And you'll remember what I'm about to say. Before I start spilling these nightmares, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button and smash the bell, because trust me, you're not gonna sleep easy after this, and you'll want the next batch of real horror the second it drops. All right, let's get into it. Story 1 came from a guy named Jake in Columbus, Ohio. Normal dude, works night shift security at an old warehouse that used to be a mental hospital back in the 50s. Place has been empty for decades, just concrete halls, flickering fluorescents, and that smell like wet pennies and bleach. Jake told me he always did his rounds at the same time every night. 3 a.m. coffee, check the cameras, walk the perimeter. Routine, safe. One night, dead winter, everything's quiet except the wind rattling the chain link fence outside. He's sitting in the guard shack, scrolling on his phone, when the motion sensor on the 3rd floor pings. Weird, that floor's been sealed since he started. He checks the camera, nothing but darkness and that grainy green night vision glow. He figures it's a glitch, rats maybe, but then it pings again. Same spot, 3:02 a.m. He grabs his flashlight, heads up. The elevator doesn't go to 3 anymore, so he takes the stairs. Each step echoes like someone's walking right behind him, matching his pace. He stops, silence. Starts again, footsteps again. He's sweating now, even though it's freezing. Gets to the 3rd floor door, pushes it open, and the air just changes, thick, like walking into someone's breath. He sweeps the beam across the hallway. Old gurneys tipped over, paint peeling in long strips like skin. And there, at the far end, something moves. Not fast, just a shift. A shadow pulling away from the wall like it was part of it. Jake freezes. His radio crackles, even though no one's on the other end. Then the clock on his phone flips. 3:03 a.m. Exactly. That's when he hears it. A whisper, right in his ear. His own voice, saying his full name, the one nobody at work knows. Jacob Michael Reed. Soft, wet, like someone speaking through a mouthful of blood. He ran, didn't stop till he was back in the shack, doors locked, heart slamming so hard he thought he'd puke. Checked the camera again. The 3rd floor feed was crystal clear now, and standing dead center, staring straight up into the lens, was Jake. Same uniform, same flashlight hanging loose in his hand, same terrified face. Except Jake was downstairs. He quit the next morning. Still gets a text every single night at 3:03 a.m. from his own old work number. Where are you? Story 2. Sarah from Portland, Oregon. Single mom, 2 little kids asleep down the hall. She's a light sleeper, always has been. One night she wakes up, no reason, just that sudden jolt like falling in a dream. Room's pitch black, house completely still. She reaches for her phone on the nightstand, 3:03 a.m. Then she hears it, breathing, slow, deep, right next to the bed. Not her kids, they're in their rooms, doors closed. This is inches away. She doesn't move, can't, just lies there staring at the ceiling, feeling hot breath on her cheek that smells like damp earth and old leaves. She counts to 10 in her head, praying it's sleep paralysis, praying it'll pass. It doesn't. Instead, the breathing stops, and a voice, small like a child's but wrong somehow, whispers, "Mommy, can I come in now?" Sarah's blood turns to ice. Both her kids are boys, and they're asleep. She screams, flips on the light, Nothing. Room empty. But her bedroom door? Wide open. She swears she locked it. She races to the kids' rooms, both boys still tucked in, snoring. She cries, shakes it off as a nightmare, triple checks every lock, and goes back to bed. The next morning, she finds tiny wet footprints leading from the backyard across the kitchen floor straight to her bedroom door. Bare feet, way too small to be hers. They stop right at the threshold, like whatever made them waited for permission. She moved out 2 weeks later, still checks the clock every night, still flinches at 3:03. Third one hits different. Mike and Emily, young couple in Pittsburgh, just bought their first house, an old Victorian that needed work, but the price was unreal. First night there, they're exhausted from moving, crash hard around midnight. Mike wakes up to pee, glances at his watch, 3:03 on the dot. He's halfway down the hall when he realizes Emily's side of the bed was cold when he left. He turns around and she's standing in the bedroom doorway behind him, just standing, staring, not blinking. "Babe?" he whispers. No answer. Moonlight cuts across her face and something's off. Her eyes are open way too wide, reflecting the light like an animal's. She tilts her head, slow, unnatural, and smiles. But it's not her smile. Too many teeth. He backs up. "Em, you okay?" She opens her mouth way too wide, and this sound comes out. Not words, just air hissing over something wet. Then she starts walking toward him, but wrong, like her knees are bending backward under the nightgown. He bolts downstairs, locks himself in the bathroom, calls her name through the door, no answer, just soft thumps coming down the steps, 1, 2, 3 at a time, but too light. After 20 minutes of shaking, he opens the door. Emily's curled up asleep at the foot of the stairs, blanket wrapped around her like she fell. She has no memory of it all. But Mike found scratches on the inside of the bedroom door the next day, deep ones from fingernails on the side facing the hallway. They lasted 3 months before they sold the house at a loss. Emily still sleepwalks, only ever at 3:03. Fourth story, short but it messed me up. College kid named Tyler at Ohio State lives in an old dorm built in the 1920s. Thin walls, creaky pipes, the usual. He's cramming for finals, falls asleep at his desk with headphones on, white noise playing. Wakes up to silence, headphones are off, plugged into nothing, room's freezing. Clock on his laptop, 3:03. He hears scratching, slow, deliberate, coming from inside the wall right next to his bed. He presses his ear to it. The scratching stops. Then a voice, muffled like someone speaking through plaster. "Tyler, let me out." He knows every person on his floor. None of them sound like that. The voice was a girl, and it knew his name. He didn't sleep, just sat there till sunrise, lights blazing. The next day he asks around. Turns out, in 1974, a freshman girl hung herself in that exact room. They walled up the closet afterwards. Guess where his bed was pushed up against? He moved out that weekend. They found his headphones the next semester, still plugged into the wall outlet. Cord chewed clean through. Last one. This one's the worst, because it's still happening. Ashley lives in a quiet suburb outside Seattle. Normal life, husband, dog, 9 to 5. She starts waking up every single night at exactly 3:03 a.m. No alarm, no reason, just eyes open, heart racing. First few times she shrugs it off. Then she notices the dog won't sleep in their room anymore, just sits in the hallway growling low at the bedroom door from the inside. One night she wakes up, 3:03 again, and the room is full of people. not ghosts, people, standing around the bed, silent, maybe 15, 20 of them, all facing her, some in old clothes, some modern, a little boy in pajamas, an old woman clutching a purse. They don't move, don't breathe, just stare with these hollow, patient eyes. She screams, her husband jumps up, flips on the light, nobody there, but the dog is barking its head off in the corner, hackles raised, staring at the exact same spots. It keeps happening. Every night, 3:03, more people each time. They never speak, never touch her, just watch, waiting. Last thing she told me, 2 nights ago, she woke up at 3:03 and the room was empty for the first time in months. Except she was standing in the middle of the bed. Her husband took the video on his phone. She's just standing there, swaying, eyes wide open, smiling at nothing. Then she whispers, in a voice that definitely isn't hers, "There's room for one more." They left the house that morning, haven't gone back. So yeah, that's 5 real people, 5 real stories, all hitting at the exact same minute, 3:03 a.m. Look at your clock right now. If it's anywhere close, don't blink. Sleep tight, guys. See you in the next one, if you make it that long.